Hello and welcome again. Today we are dealing with the second part of the topic, genocides in the Bible. In the last episode, we looked at the genocide involving the killing of all the firstborns in Egypt. Today, we are looking at the killing, the raping, the destruction, and ethnic cleansing of the land of Canaan. That's the second genocide we are going to consider. Now, we used to sing this song in the church, "The wall of Jericho fell down, the wall of Jericho fell down. The children of God were praising the Lord. The wall of Jericho fell down, down. The wall of Jericho fell down." Do the people singing this song in the churches understand that they are celebrating, if the story was true, of course, one of the biggest, greatest acts of genocide ever recorded? Now, the story began in Genesis chapter 15 from verse 18 to 21. We are told in that passage that Abraham was promised by the God of Israel that he will give him and his descendants after him the land occupied by other people. He said, "I will give this land to your descendants. This is the land from the river of Egypt to the great river, the Euphrates. It is the land of the Canaanites, the Canaanites, the Cadmonites, the Hittites, the Perizzites, the Rephaim, the Amorites, the Canaanites, the Girgashites, and the Jebusites." So this is a swath of land occupied by other peoples. And Yahweh, the God of Israel, tells Abraham he was going to give those land, or that land, or the expanse of land, to him and his descendants as inheritance. So when Yahweh had finished his genocide in Egypt, that of killing all the firstborns of Egypt, the people of Israel now left Egypt according to the Bible and now proceeded on a march to their promised land. It took them a long time, according to the Bible, but eventually they got there. Now, one of the laws given to Moses about the promised land is a law that ordered the genocide of the people in the area. Deuteronomy 20:10 to 14. Deuteronomy 20:10 to 14. It says, "When they march up to attack a city, they should make the people an offer of peace. If those people accept the offer of peace and open their gates to them, then all the people of that land shall be subject to enslavement, to forced labor, and shall work for the people of Israel. And that will be the price they will pay for freedom or for being spared. If they refuse to make peace and they decide to fight back against the Israelites, Yahweh orders them that when the Lord your God, when Yahweh delivers that place into your hand, put to the sword all the men in that place. Kill every man in that city. As for the women, the children, the livestock, and everything else in the city, you may take as plunder for yourselves. Kill all the men and share the women amongst yourselves, especially the virgin girls. Share their properties. So that's the first decree given to them on how they would deal with the people in the area of Canaan. But these are the people who are not part of the area marked out as promised land. For those people, it's even a worse fate that would befall them. Now, the area of land, the expanse of land, here marked or promised to the Israelites as the promised land, they were told that give nobody any chance of peace. Slaughter them all. Deuteronomy 20, 16 to 18. Deuteronomy 20, 16 to 18. It says, in the cities of the nations the Lord your God is giving you as an inheritance, do not leave anything that breathes. Completely destroy them. The Hittites, the Amorites, the Canaanites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, the Jebusites, all of them. Wipe them out, as the Lord your God has commanded. Do not leave anybody among them. You must kill the entire place. You must wipe them off the face of the earth. Otherwise, they will teach you to worship their own gods. And then you will forsake me. So the crime of the people of Canaan, the Jebusites, the Amorites, and so on, was because they were not people of Yahweh. They were worshipping their own gods. Just like the Jews or the Israelites had their own God, Yahweh. And following this decree, we are told that Joshua, who succeeded Moses and Aaron, now went about on a military campaign to claim the land of Canaan, beginning from Jericho. And that's why they sung, the wall of Jericho fell down, because it was a fortified city with a wall around it, so the wall fell down, and the people of Israel marched in and began to slaughter, to kill, to destroy, to annihilate. Joshua 6, 24 to 25. Joshua 6, 24 to 25 says, then they burned the whole city and everything in it, but they put the silver and the gold and the articles of bronze and iron into the treasury of Yahweh's house. They slaughtered the entire people of Jericho, but they stole, basically, their precious items, their gold and the silver. And they spared only Rahab, the prostitute, and her family, they spared. And Rahab and her family, we were told, continue to live with the people of Israel to this day, because she helped the spies that came to spy on Jericho. So they wiped out all the people of Jericho. They wiped out as well all the people of Ai, whatever it is called. Joshua 8, 24 to 26. When Israel had finished killing all the men of Ai in the fields and in the wilderness where they had chased them, and when every one of them had been put to the sword, all the Israelites returned to Ai and killed those who were in it. 12,000 men and women fell that day, all the people of Ai. Wiped out the entire people of Ai, so that the people of Israel would take their land. And the pattern continued in other cities and towns around the area. We are told, if you read through Joshua 6 until Joshua 12, you will see the same pattern. They enter, they wipe out everybody, everything, and they loot the properties. They didn't spare anyone. Total cleansing of the land, of the inhabitants. And this is how the Bible says that they acquired the promised land, by slaughtering and wiping out in the entirety of the people that lived there. Men, women, children, infant babies. What offense did they commit? Now the story of genocide continues in the story of the war against the Midianites in Numbers 31, 15 to 17. Apparently the Midianites had offended the people of Israel somehow, and Yahweh ordered Moses to go to Midian. I think these were the in-laws of Moses, because that was where he met, where he encountered the burning bush and all that. So his in-laws now became the enemies. I said, go there and wipe out all the men and women who were not virgins. Completely destroy the place and take away the virgin girls for yourself. Numbers 31. I will read from 15 to 17. Numbers 31, 15 to 17. So after the soldiers or the fighters of Israel had come back to Moses, it was like, have you allowed all the women to live? He asked them. These were the ones who followed Balaam's advice and enticed the Israelites to be unfaithful to Yahweh. Now, kill all the boys and kill every woman who has slept with a man, but save for yourselves every girl who never slept with a man. Kill all the boys, kill all the men, share the virgins among yourselves. By the way, kill also the women that have slept with any man before. And this was even before Joshua began his military campaign. This was Moses giving this order, shortly after they received their laws from their God. Now, rape and sexual slavery are examples of ethnic cleansing and genocide. If the intent is to wipe out the people and prevent them from procreating their type or their kind. And you saw before, in the areas around the promised land that were not part of the promised land, they were told, the Israelites, kill everybody, every man, every boy, every woman that has given birth or wasn't a virgin, kill them all, but keep for yourself as sex slaves. They may call it wife or concubine or whatever, for yourselves, for your enjoyment. Deuteronomy 21, 10 to 14. When the Lord your God delivers it, that's any of the cities, into your hand, put to the sword all the men in it. Kill them. As for the women and children, the livestock and everything in the city, you may take these as plunder for yourself. Plunder the place of all their valuable things. Including the women. Share the women among yourselves. And you may use the plunder your God is giving to you from your enemies. Deuteronomy 21:10-14. When you go to war with your enemies, and Yahweh your Elohim or your God hands them over to you, you may take them captive. And if you see a beautiful woman among the captives, and have your heart set on her, you may marry her. Whether she likes it or not. Bring her into your house. She must shave her head, cut her nails, and no longer wear the clothes she was wearing when you captured her. Then she may live in your house, and mourn the loss of her father and the mother you've killed for 1 month. Thereafter, you may go into her, you may sleep with her, and she becomes your wife. Numbers 31:17-18. Now kill all the boys, and kill every woman that has slept with a man, but save for yourselves every girl who has never slept with a man. So, it was a simple instruction. Destroy everybody in the promised land, including the men and the women. The surrounding areas not part of the promised land. Kill all the men, kill all the boys, but take the virgin girls for yourself. What conclusions can we draw from this story of genocide? The ethnic cleansing, the wiping out of the people of Canaan and the surrounding areas. First, it is clear that Yahweh, the God of the Israelites, did not create the world. Because if he did, he would have created land for his people, the Israelites, his chosen people. How come he gave them no land? Why would he steal the land of other people to give to his own people? And not just that, by wiping out the people of that land, in order for his own people, the Israelites, to take over. So he did not create the world. Second lesson, Yahweh did not create the people of Canaan, the Jebusites, the Amorites, the Girgashites, the Hivites, the Hittites, the Philistines. All those people, it is clear, were not his people. Yahweh did not create them, because Yahweh hated them, and Yahweh went out of his way to destroy them, wipe them out, and gave their land to his own people, the people that he created, the Israelites. That's clear. It is also clear that the Canaanites had their own gods. Yeah, and because of this, they were at enmity. The Jews, the Israelites hated them, and the God of Israel hated them. We know about the gods of Canaan, the Baals, the Asherahs, Molech, and all those gods, Ashtoreth, and so on. El. So these were the gods that the Canaanites knew. They did not know Yahweh. So Yahweh was battling against them. But interestingly and ironically, the Jews followed these gods of Canaan anyway. If you go to my previous videos about this, the worship of Baal, the worship of Asherah, the worship of El were predominant in Israel. And El was in fact the same God that the Canaanites worshipped, and was the father god of Baal and the other gods of Canaan, and Asherah was the mother god of Canaan, and with El was the created or gave birth to the other gods. So yes, but they did not know who Yahweh was. He wasn't their God. The next lesson we learn from this is that Yahweh is the tribal God, tribal warlord of the Israelites. That is very clear. He led them to war against other nations and the gods of those nations. And of course, the Bible writers will claim that their God, Yahweh, won the war, the battles against other gods. It is clear, for example, in Egypt, when the encounter with Pharaoh, he says, I'm going to deal with Pharaoh and the gods of Egypt. So it is clear that he was the tribal warlord of the Israelites. There were no pretensions about it in the Bible. The next thing we take from this story is that the story is simply a story of war, of conquest, of ethnic cleansing, and dispossession of native inhabitants of their land and their properties. It's not the first time it happened in history. It's not the last time it's going to happen. It's been happening in history. But to say that God told you, your God told you, is a different matter altogether. So, it is like the story of the dispossession and the slaughter and the wiping out, the cleansing of the natives of America, natives of Australia, of New Zealand, of Canada, and other places where foreigners had gone to dispossess and wipe out and take over the land of the natives. Such acts of genocide, such acts of ethnic cleansing and dispossession should be condemned by all well-meaning people. We cannot be celebrating that as the work of God. That God that will order that kind of thing is not a God of the people of the world. Well, thank you for watching. Let's know what you think about the subject of our discussion today by leaving a comment in the comment sections below. If you like the video, please share it, give us a thumbs up, and subscribe to the channel. It helps us, gives us encouragement to keep doing this work to educate the people and to open their eyes to things that were closed to them. Thank you for watching. Until next time, bye.